Every time the walls open, I get closer to her, but further from being human. Story by you/Max Voynich. Most days the walls are empty. Bare, that shade of black I hated so much, that I told her made it look like our bedroom was a witch's coven, which, in turn, only made her love it more. She said she'd always wanted to be a witch, ever since she was a little girl, and then she pressed herself against me and asked if I had any problem with witches, especially ones who could do this, and then it didn't take me long to shut up and forget all about it. But, some days, if I'm lying very still, and holding the stone in my hands, the walls open. I don't know how to explain it. It's as if the paint gets darker and darker, and somehow thicker, more tangible, as if it expands in all directions, getting deeper and wider, and slowly it yawns out in front of me, going back and back until I see them. I think they're poplar trees, thin and with white trunks, reaching up into this new darkness with empty branches. Once I see the poplars I know it's time to get up. That's when the wall is, I suppose, no longer a wall, but something else, and when I step off my bed the floor is not wood but earth. Cold, wet earth. The first few times it happened I didn't go very far, I'd maybe walk a few minutes before turning around. I'd explore, in one direction or the other, this strange and secret wood that appeared in the walls of my home. It seemed, for the most part, to stay the same. It felt vacant somehow, as if something was missing here that was present in the real world. But as I spent more time there, that feeling grew less and less. I didn't think I had much in the real world, at least, not anymore. Not after Mary had got sick, and grown gaunt, and her skin shrunk around her bones and the hollows of her cheeks. Her wrists turned to pale twigs, her breathing grew rasping, pained. Not after we were told that she didn't have much longer, that, despite their best efforts there was nothing they could do and that we maybe had a month, at tops. A month to squeeze in what was meant to be a lifetime. I could only tell her I loved her so many times, only spent so long holding her as she lost weight, try to pretend I didn't know she cried in secret and tried not to admit how scared she was. Once, she confessed to me, after a sleepless night, that she'd spent vomiting into a plastic bowl, in a voice small and scared, that she didn't want to die, that she was so scared sometimes she couldn't breathe and she thought she'd do anything to make it stop. The worst part was I could do nothing. I didn't know what to say to that, what would help. The truth was unavoidable, real. I did not know her family well, and at the funeral they seemed to avoid my eye contact. She'd always said they were strange, had never wanted me to meet them, had said that there were things buried there she did not want to uncover. They wore funny clothes, smelt of strange herbs and incense, and spoke in whispers at the service. It hurt even more, the thought that there was this whole part of her life I knew nothing about, would know nothing about, and at me then how much we'd still had to do, how much more of her there was to love that I'd never found time to, and I'd had to close my eyes until the feeling went away. The funeral had been in the morning, and I'd sat by her grave until it grew dark. I'd read parts of her favorite books out loud, parts of Frankenstein, Wuthering Heights, Rosemary's Baby that she'd underlined several times, pages that she'd folded the corners of and left, in her scrawled handwriting, tiny exclamation marks and love hearts. Pages she'd marked with little drawings, cobwebs, cats, moths all packed into the margins. I loved her for that, always filling the spaces that should have been empty. Her grandmother had stayed a while, her eyes entirely white, blind, I assumed, and without saying a word. I don't know if she knew I was there, or if she thought she was alone, but we stood for an hour, at least, together. There was something about her I couldn't place. She moved as if she didn't quite belong to this world, as if reality for her was a fluid and malleable thing. Then she'd bowed her head, said something in a language I didn't understand, and left, by the tombstone, a smooth, black pebble. We hadn't moved in yet. Most of our stuff was still scattered across the country, some at my parents', some in our old flats, some at various friends'. Our house was bare, except for the bed, and basic appliances. I had, at the time she died, nothing of hers but the books in my bag, the clothes in her closet, and a hole in my stomach that I thought would never go away.